These formulas are knockout, they absolutely are a knockout. Hi everybody, so today I'm going to be reviewing one of my absolute favourite eyeshadow brands, and that is Viseart. They have brought back 2 eyeshadow palettes because you have demanded it. There was so much demand. I actually received a lot of requests when I asked you, would you like me to contact Viseart and say to them which ones you want the most? And these are the 2 that you told me about the most. So I'm sure there's been feedback from so many different sources, and Viseart have responded. And we have here again the Praline Attendu and the LILAS Lumière Attendu. So I've created 2 looks with each of those, which I'll be showing you in this video, and I cannot wait to show you. I'll also swatch both of them as well so you can see how well they swatch, and trust me, they are impressive. And I've also got to show you these new glowy fusion blushes from Kiko. I've picked up all 3 of these. Kiko Milano is a brand I've never really dipped into before, to be honest. I do tend to do more sort of high-end luxury on this channel, but when I saw these baked blushes, these Italian formulas as well, screamed luxury blushes to me. I'm going to make a few comparisons today with the Hourglass. I've also got a few other comparisons to make, and I'm going to be trying them on so you can see what these look like. But trust me, these are pretty impressive too. So very impressive things today, and I'm not expecting to say that anything isn't wonderful. So slight spoiler alert, this is not going to be a non-recommendation or a failure video. I think this is going to be a wow video. I already know what I'm playing with here. Anyway, if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah, I'm 48, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I show you the latest releases, my favourite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this content, I'd be ever so grateful if you did subscribe to my channel. Lots of people are watching videos without subscribing, so if you could, that really would be so very helpful to me. And also, if you're already subscribed, welcome back. I really, really appreciate you being here. And my skin tone, if you want to know about colour matches today, I've got fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones that lean a little bit neutral, and I've got blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get straight into this review. So let's start first of all with the Praline eyeshadow, because I've created 2 looks with this yesterday and I'll be showing you the clip of that. But before I show you the clip, let's look at the palette itself. So it comes in this sleeve. One thing actually I need to mention is that Viseart actually gifted these to me. Now I can assure you if they hadn't, I would have purchased them. I didn't have these 2 in my collection. It was because you all told me how wonderful they were. I thought I should have added them. So I was delighted when they came back, but I held off buying them because they recently contacted me to say they'd added me to the PR list. So I was super grateful about that. So then they emailed to say I'd be getting them. That's why I haven't bought them. But I would 100% have bought these myself. So that'll give you an idea how much I love these. So the outer packaging, once you've got it outside of the box, this is how it looks on the front. And then here we have, there's no mirror with this, but we just have this. But what we do have, I don't know, there isn't anything that unfolds into a mirror or anything there. So there isn't a mirror, it just folds back. But what we do have here, gosh, I just put my nail straight into that then, is all of these are removable. They just literally come out. So I can just put my fingernail underneath one of these and it will come out. Just like that. And then it's magnetic. So you can customize these and change them around as much as you like, which is something I love about Viseart. I don't actually do it because of my job, because I think it's very confusing for me when I need to dip in and out of things and tell you which one's which. Then I wouldn't be able to give you accurate comparisons. If I wasn't doing this job, I think I'd have great fun playing around creating different colour palettes. And when I've found favourites, because I've got quite a big Viseart collection, and there's always certain colours that really appeal to me more than others, and I would love to create my own. So I do think this is a fabulous idea. Anyway, let's look at this one. This is described as a reverie of warmth. Praline Attendu glows with bronzed honey, mocha and molten caramel like golden hues against white linen, like praline melting on the tongue. I mean, isn't that enough to just sell it to you instantly? And these are actually a really good price for what you're getting. These are £33.64 on their website at the moment. And in here you are getting, I'm reading that upside down, you're getting 0.63 ounces, 18 grams, and it is made in the USA. And so it's not an Italian formula, this one, but it is still one of my favourite formulas. So don't judge a formula by where it's made from these days, because I'm getting things that are made in UK, France, US, Italy, and I'm finding them absolutely fabulous. So definitely don't rule it out by that. And honestly, this is up there with the absolute top for me in formulas. Used to be just their mattes, but now their shimmers have really reached a high level. Wait till you see these swatch now. So I'm going to swatch them across this way, and I'll do it on my hand, I think, and then just wipe off. So I'll start with the first three. I mean, look at this shimmer here. So this one is the first one, and this one is called Foie. Oh, I'm not entirely sure how that one's pronounced. Or Folies. This is a light gold with a metallic finish. I mean, look at that formula. It's so creamy and buttery. And then we have Pigalle. I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up these pronunciations. This is a pale vanilla peach with a matte finish. And then we have Mousseline, which is a burnt plum with a matte finish. So there's the first three there. The fourth one is called Sucre, and this is warm brown with a shimmer finish. Look how stunning that one is. The next one is Muscade or Muscade, a nutmeg brown with a matte finish. And then we have Jazz. Look at that, just look at that formula. Isn't that gorgeous? Next we have Laughter. And Laughter is a nude beige satin with a metallic with a shimmer finish. Gosh, it's just, they are so pretty, these, they really are. This one's Cabaret. Look at that. Golden bronze with a metallic finish. And then Archives. Archives is a nude champagne with a metallic satin finish. I mean, these three alone are absolutely stunning. And then the last three, we have Pecan, which is a sienna brown with a matte finish. Then we have Sire, which is a light bark lilac taupe with a metallic finish. Wow, look at that. And then the very last one is Veloutine, which is an espresso bitter brown with a matte finish, which is not swatching brilliantly across my knuckles there. So it's nothing to do with the powder, it's just 'cause it's going over my knuckles. But I hope you can see from that just how stunning these are. They are just beautiful. So yesterday I did two looks with this palette, and I split it into what I thought was a slightly warmer look and a slightly cooler look. And if you look at the palette here, I think this almost divides into these sections. So you've got the very sort of warm pecan shades here and caramel shades here, and then here is a slightly cooler section. So you'll see the two looks in the video coming up now. One eye using only this side and the other eye using only that side. So here is that video clip for you. So I don't think the looks I created there were massively different, but I think you could see that one was more soft and light brown and the other one was darker. Maybe I should play around with more different shades to create very different looks, but I do have a feeling with this palette, it is a praline palette. You're going to come out with a fairly praline look, but you can deepen it, you can soften it. I found them incredibly easy to blend, really, really easy, and I was very impressed with all of the shimmer slash metallic shades. They really had a huge amount of impact, very little amount on my finger, and I didn't need to dip back in and get more. It just gave that straight instant finish. It was amazing. So now I'm very excited to try the next one. So here it is in the packet here. So this one is the LILAS Lumière Attendu, and this one is described as capturing the fleeting hush between moonlight and morning, where dewdrops shimmer, lilac light lingers, and dawn's first blush kisses the world awake. I mean, who writes these descriptions? This must be a poet. I absolutely love them. So I'm wondering if I'm sort of seeing two splits in a similar way with this one. What do you think? I think certainly for my two looks, I'm going to be going with this side and this side, just from first instinct, but I could change my mind as I'm doing it. Again, this one would be the more deeper look, and this will be the softer look. But obviously you can play around and do absolutely anything. But let's do some quick swatches with this as well. So I'll just get the first three. Starting with Pearl D'Or, which is a light champagne blush pink with a matte finish. Then Rosé, which is a light pink champagne with a high shine metallic finish. Oh wow, look at that. And then Soft Pink, which is a soft light pink with a matte finish. Very, very light, so you can't really see much there on my hand, but it is obviously showing up as a slightly warmer pink than the first one here. So then we have IDôLE, which is a light stone brown nude with a matte finish. And then we have Tiramisu, which is a light cool taupe with a matte finish. And then we have Argente, which is a silver with a shimmer finish. Wow, look at that. Look at that. That is crazy. That really is a powerful finish, isn't it? Wow, I love that. Now we have Burlesque, which is a metallic satin caramel hue with a duochromatic finish. Then Fondant, which is an iced silver rose with a silver finish. Oh wow, these silvery ones are so impactful, look at them. And then Pompidou, which is a muted cool toned pink lilac with a matte finish. Then we have Dolce, which is a warm mid-toned burnished bronze. And then we have Cambracine, which is a mid-toned greyish stone hue with a matte finish. I'm sorry about my focus being an absolute pain today. I don't know what's going on with my camera lately. And then lastly we have Espresso, which is a bitter brown with a matte finish. Again, I've managed to swatch that badly across my knuckles, but anyway, you can see the depth there that we're getting from that matte. So beautiful palette. The only one I'd say that I'm not too keen on using is this one, because it's like a bronze, and I think I'll be sticking with the sort of the other shades, the pinks and lilacs. And those silvers, whoa. If anybody picked up the Paris Matte Attendu, which is all matte, this one, which I've raved about, just in case you're curious how these two look side by side. So do you need both? This is the one I keep in my desk, in my top drawer, because it is the perfect sort of palette to have as your everyday matte for so many different looks. It is absolutely stunning. And this is the one that came out as limited edition, sold out fast. And we all went on and on and on to Viseart about needing more stock, and they answered everyone's requests, and they came out with a new one, just like they have with these two. And when they sent me out these two in PR, they did say to me, if you've got any colour requests or palette requests, please feed it back to them. So if you do have specific shades or colour stories that you'd really love to see from Viseart, please do feed that back to me, because they really, really do listen. They're a very, very good brand for listening to the customer and listening to people like me when we're feeding back this information. So please do let me know anytime if you'd like me to contact them about anything that you think would be wonderful, or anything you think should be brought back that's been discontinued. So anyway, let's get straight into a look with this one. So I think, like I said, I'm going to go for a softer look with this side and a deeper look with that side. So I'll start, I think I'll start with this one, which is probably one of my favourite mattes from swatching. This is the muted cool toned pink lilac matte, and it is called Pompidou. And it does say on the back of the outer sleeve the names of each of these, so it's worth holding on to that if you want to know the names of them and not forget them. That's gone on extremely easily. Just look how quickly that's actually done. That's what I just love about Viseart. They are very, very user friendly. I'm using my Victoria Beckham blender brush, and now I'm using my Rapha 3 to run the same colour underneath. And now I think what I'll do is, as I did in that first clip you saw of me trying Praline, I'll move straight to the other side so you can see the difference between the two. So for the other side, I'm going to go more for these sort of brown shades, I think. So I think I'll go straight in with this one here. And this one is Isolde or Isolde, which is a light stone brown nude. So we've got that sort of cool toned lilac on the other side, and then we're going in with the brown on this side. I am using exactly the same brushes for all of this. I'm just cleaning them off in between. Another matte, which pretty much just goes on by itself, and running it underneath. I think I'll try this. I don't know if it'll really give me much more depth, but I just want to try a little bit of it. So this one is the Cool Taupe Tiramisu, and I'm still using just the blender brush because I don't want a lot of this, but I'm just putting a little bit in the outer V for a little bit of dimension there. So just mixing both of these cool tones. So if you're a cool tone fan like me, this palette is bringing the cool tones for sure. Yeah, that does blend out quite nicely with that. Lovely tones. This would be nice on its own as well, this one. Oh, I love those two. Love them. Nice subtle. Remember, this is the soft side. So just brush this off, and for the other side I'm going to go in with this one here. This is the Cambracine Mid-Tone Greige. So you just tap that on and I'm almost done. Honestly, you just can't get easier mattes than these from Viseart. They have done something magical in the way that they have created mattes over the years, because they are just so easy. They're never patchy, they blend together so beautifully, and they pretty much work on their own. Just, I love them. I think I'll try this just as a sort of softening shade on the outer edge. So that is this side now. The soft pink with a matte finish. Just going around the very edges. Sort of fuse and soften there. And just see that tiny pop of pink, which I like a lot. For this side, we do have this lighter shade here. I don't really feel like I need to soften this edge, so what I will be doing is using that one towards the end, I think, so I'll leave that for now. So now I'm going to move into some of these high impact colours. So the one that really blew me away, it is going to make it quite dark now because this is a soft look at the moment, but I have to do this one because this one was the one that really caught my eye when I did the swatches. So that is this one here. I'll take it on my finger here. This is the Argente. I mean, look at it. Silver with a shimmer finish. Let's just take a look at that. Ooh, look at that impact. I'm going to be a bit careful how much because I did want this side to be a bit softer. And I probably should have skipped this if I wanted to really continue with a soft look, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do it because this is just so beautiful. I think I'll stop there though so that I don't have too much of it because I want to bring back softness and light. So I'm just going to use the blender brush to blend this into the outer V a bit and to soften it there. Look at that. That's stunning. It's worth noting that both of these palettes together are the same price as one Natasha Denona. The quality is as good, sometimes if not better. And you could get both of these for the same price. So for the other side, I will go with this one. This one is Burlesque Metallic Satin Caramel with a duochromatic finish. So I'm going to... Probably that one would have been better here when I'm going for a darker look, but anyway. This side will still be darker because I'm going to go with a darker liner to finish, but anyway. Look at that. That is absolutely sensational. I love it. I really hope the camera is seeing and capturing what I'm doing here because that is just, oh, it's so beautiful. And it does suggest in their guide on their website that you could put a soft satin across the whole lid and then this over the top, so it would be a softer finish again, because it works as a really nice topper, that, doesn't it? It's a stunning topper actually. But I just want to see them as they are without mixing them too much for this first try. So now for this eye, I'm going to put all from there to there basically, so 2/3 of the lid. I want it much more bright. So we're going to continue with this side, and I'm going to go in with this shade here. So I'm going to actually take this on my little finger. This one is the Rosé Soft Light, oh wow, look, Soft Light Champagne. Oh gosh, Viseart, you really do know how to make me happy. Look at that. So this has a high shine metallic finish, which it really does. These formulas are knockout, they absolutely are a knockout. That and that together, I love it. I love pinks and greys, and that's what that is giving me in this stunning finish. Wow. Cool tone lovers, you need this palette. So just trying to sort of dust a little bit of the metallic sparkle so I can see it a little bit fuse together there above my hooded lid. Not too much, just a sort of soft touch. Oh gosh, I absolutely love that. So now for this side, we can get into the silver. So little finger again. Now this one should be pretty impactful. Whew. Wow, look at that. This would be beautiful with those pinks as well, you know. Silver and pink, beautiful. But this one is mixing with this shade here that I used, which is the Satin Caramel. So you're seeing, I would describe this more as a winter sort of look. I describe both of these as quite wintry looks actually, summer, winter, but possibly with a pink spring. I mean, you could really make this an all year round palette actually. Because you don't have to mix these colours together. I love to mix colours like this though, but you certainly don't have to. You could get one and dones out of all of the shades I'm showing you. The mattes would work as easy everyday one and dones as well, because they just work beautifully and they give you enough coverage. Oh wow, that is just gorgeous. So far, no fallout either. Very, very impressed with that. So now I'm going to go into the inner corner. I will start with that really light shade for this side. So going into this one here, this is the Pearl D'Or Light Champagne Blush Pink, which should, for me, be quite a perfect inner corner pop of light. And I certainly don't want any shimmer going there with that amount of shimmer already on my eyes. It's just, oh, that's a beautiful inner corner shade. Much more complementary to my skin tone and my lines there. And I'm going to use this just under the brow there. This could also be a good one for doing a bit of a clean up there if you want a bit of a sharper line. So I'm going to see on this side if I can use this one. It's a bit warm for me. This is the warmer pink, described as a soft light pink. So it might not work for me as an inner corner, but I just wanted to check. I'm happy with just one in the palette. It sort of works. We'll go with it for today, I think, on this side, but I think my preferred choice, I like it under the brow though. I think my preferred choice will probably be the first one. So now for lining, I'm going to start this side with the Refa 23. So this one is the darker side, which I said would get darker to the end, and that's because I'm using this, the deepest shade in this palette. And this is the Espresso, which is a bitter brown matte. And that really does pack a punch actually, look. Perfect. Taking it up for a bit of a wing, and then I'm going to just slightly widen the wing so it's bringing a bit of depth there, and then bring it across tight to the lash line. And that has given it a much more dark, smoky look by putting that dark liner on. So for this side, I'm going to go for something a bit lighter, but there's not really on the side I was using anything that's liner appropriate. So I think I have to dip into this side this time and go into the lighter of the brown mattes. The mid-tone greige stone, so it's more fitting with sort of colours I've got on this side. And remember, these are not split in two, that's just what I've been doing. That's certainly not what you need to do. So if you're going for the sort of colours I've got on this eye, I think that that's the perfect sort of liner shade for that slightly softer finish and also more cool toned. So I'm going to do the same as the other side, but I'm not going to make the wing quite as deep, so it's not quite as smoky, so it's just a very sort of light wing. What is not to love about this eyeshadow palette? Isn't it stunning? So I think I will leave it there. So those are my two looks, the slightly softer one and the slightly smokier one there. Which one do you prefer? I actually think I like them exactly the same. I was expecting to prefer this one, but I think because of the silver on this one, but I do like it mixed with that slightly warmer tone there. I really do like it. So anyway, I'm going to go on and do my mascara, and then we can look at the blushes. Here's how it is looking with some mascara. What do you think? 10 out of 10 plus more. And I love both of them. I think this one might just slightly have the edge over the Praline, purely because these colours suit me the most, but I love the Praline, and when I say slightly over, slightly has the edge, very, very slight. I would happily buy both. I would have bought both, and I absolutely recommend both. But obviously if you pick one for colour choices, that's entirely up to you. I'm not saying you need both by any means, but I definitely recommend picking them up if you like these colour stories, because they are beautiful. So anyway, my cheeks are desperately in need of some colour, so let's get on with the blushes, which certainly will be bringing me the colour. So we have here the Kiko Juicy Fizz Fusion Glow Blushes, and I've got a swatch video of these, so I'll just show you that first. So you can see they really do bring the pigment. Have I written down the price of these? Yes, I have. $18.99, so very good price. Made in Italy. They've got a 12-month shelf life, and you get, what's it say, 8 grams of product, so it's a generous amount of product. The packaging, it doesn't come with any sort of mirror, even though the description didn't mention a mirror. It says integrated mirror, unless they mean this, which is not a mirror. You can't see anything. But anyway, so the packaging, I don't love, if I'm going to be honest. It's quite sort of cheap packaging, but I'm used to sort of Chanel, Dior, which I love. But I think because it's cost less, who cares? I'm not bothered. It's certainly, it's a little bit chunky as well, not very sleek, but this is what we're really paying for, which is Italian baked blush with these incredible colours, and they are so glowy and beautiful. So the description on these says, inspired by the warm shades of Italy's glowing golden hour, this ultra sensual blush enhances the face and features with sophisticated sculpting and revitalizes the complexion with radiant colour. The texture feels extraordinary on the skin, combining the coverage of a powder with the creaminess of a balm. This innovative formula is enriched with special blend of oils, waxes and shea butter. And it's amazing colour payoff and soft glowy finish. It has, sorry. And then it says about the integrated mirror, which I just don't understand, unless it means that, which is not a mirror. Anyway, let's ignore the packaging. So I've got a video clip actually, which I haven't played. I've only played you the swatch. So that's what I'll do first. And that is me using this one. So this one is Golden Mocha. So here is my video of me trying on Golden Mocha. And if you saw in that clip there, I actually applied a little bit too much to this side, and I was more careful on this side. So if you think one side looked a bit better, even after fixing it, that was because these are so pigmented. So I have to be super careful. But I think out of the three, this could be my favourite, although I haven't tried all three on properly. So I'll be trying on one of them for the very first time today, which is actually this one. So I'm looking forward to that, because that's the one that caught my eye when I saw these advertised and really drew me in, because like I said, I've never really tried Kiko Milano. I do actually have a whole tray filled with their makeup, because they launched for the very first time, I think it was in Look Fantastic last year, and when they did that I bought a big selection thinking I'll do a video, and I've just never ever got round to doing it. So I do actually have that, so if there's any demand for that, please let me know and I'll do a full face of Kiko if you'd like that. I don't know when I'll fit it in, but if there's a demand for it, please do let me know and I will do that, because going by what I'm seeing from this, it's a brand that should not be ignored. And the prices, I wouldn't say they're sort of elf prices, they're not that affordable. They're in the sort of middle range of being affordable and Charlotte Tilbury, I'd say, sort of halfway. But I think they are a lot more affordable than Charlotte Tilbury, sort of not half the price, but like I said, in the middle, and certainly a huge gap between this and Dior or Hourglass, for instance. So yeah, very, very impressed with what I've seen so far. So please do let me know if you'd like more reviews. The first thing I'm going to do actually is some comparisons before I put that away. So I've got some of my Hourglass selections out here, and I found some that I think look a bit similar. Going into the Snake palette, I'm going to compare this one here with this one here. So the Hourglass one is Sunbeam Blush, and then we have this one which is the Golden Mocha. They're not that similar, but anyway, I want you to see the difference between the two in formula. So this one is the Hourglass and this one is the Kiko. So let's look at the two of them on my hand. Hourglass, Kiko. So different colours. I tried to find the ones that look the most similar. But look at the finishes. Do you see any difference there in the quality of the finish? I don't think one's better than the other. Apart from possibly the Kiko's a little bit smoother. It's very impressive, it really is. And the third one, which I haven't actually shown you yet, which is this one. This one is called Mauve Your Passion. This is number 3 and this is the brightest by far. I don't have a colour match for this with Hourglass, but I'm going to compare it to this one here from the Evil Eye palette, this one here. So this is Pink Fusion from Hourglass, and here is the Kiko. So Hourglass, Kiko. Different shades again, but it's formula that I'm really looking for here. Both baked formulas, both bringing that beautiful glow. Which one do you prefer? I really think it would be very difficult to separate them in quality, I really would. And this one here, which is the Rose Riviera, I think it's called, number 2, Rose Riviera, and I'm going to compare this to the Elephant palette Pink, the ones on the bottom there. Radiant Rose from Hourglass, and here is the Riviera, Pink Riviera. Look at the glow on that from Kiko. Incredibly glowy, it's almost like a highlighter really. And here is the Hourglass. Hopefully giving you some idea. And I do have a couple of other baked blushes in my collection, but I don't think any of the shades really match up. So this one is the Kosas Blushes Life Blissed, and this pink here is much, much lighter, but this is also an Italian baked formula. So I thought I'd just do a quick swatch of that so you can see it next to the Kiko. There's the Kosas. You can see that this one is finishing much more like a matte, like the Hourglass, because this one from Kiko is so shiny. It really is more like a highlighter, isn't it? It's going to be interesting how that one looks on me. I did feel that the golden one that I put on in that first clip had quite a highlight quality to it and did emphasize my texture a little bit, so it's worth keeping that in mind. These are very glowy. And then also I recently reviewed the La Regala, but again it's not really a shade match, but this is a baked Italian formula as well, so I just thought I'd get it out just to show you. And you're not going to see the same level of shine with this one either. You do see quite a lot actually. It is quite glowy, but it's not as glowy as the Kiko. So here is, this one's the Cherry Custard in the La Regala, and here we have the Kiko. I'd say they're actually quite similar, just not quite as glowy. Sensational formulas, all of them. I think the one I like the least out of everything I've shown you now is Kosas. I think they're the ones that have been the least impressive and the least easy to blend in for me personally. Hourglass is always beautiful, as we know. It's just a gorgeous formula, but it's a very expensive formula. So it's very nice when we have the likes of Kosas and Kiko coming out with these ones which are so much less. So let's try these pink ones anyway. So I'm going to try both the pink ones today, and I have to admit I'm quite frightened particularly of this one. So I'm going to literally touch this one, especially when I've got a cool tone light look. It's going to look bonkers if I let it get too deep on me. So I'm going to use my Refa Holiday blush brush, and I'm going to literally just do a tap and then see what happens. Connect with the eye and bring it up. Yesterday I allowed myself to just put too much. I'm going to do another tap. Actually, just that little tap and it's already looking stunning. Wow. Oh, that is so good. I said the gold was my favourite. This is my favourite. I love the gold. The gold is lovely with the Praline as well, with the Praline eyeshadow. It's actually quite a perfect one. Oh my goodness, isn't that stunning? Wow. Oh, I love it. It's blending out beautifully. No highlighter needed whatsoever because it's very much like a highlighter, but I don't feel like it's emphasising texture that badly at all. No bits of glitter in it. If you are seeing any sparkle, it might just be a little bit coming down from the Viseart, especially the silver that I put on. I don't think I'm going to build that up anymore because it will start to look crazy and I can't calm it down. These don't budge. These really don't budge. They stayed on me all day, and yesterday when I over applied I put so many things to try and calm it down and I really struggled. So that's definitely enough, but you can see, I think, just because all I've done is tapping it twice, that is a very pigmented blush, so you could build this up on all sorts of skin tones and get an awful lot of coverage. But isn't that beautiful? I really love it. I will soften the edges ever so slightly at the end, but I'll leave that until the end because now I'm going to go for the scary shade, the Mauve Your Passion. So I'll just clean off the brush and literally one tap, and I tapped off, and now let's see what I get. This is probably one I wouldn't have just bought. I got this for review because I thought you might like to see all three. I would imagine this is a shade that's going to be favoured more by deeper skin tones, but having said that, that one tap in is looking really nice. So as long as you're careful with these, because trust me, you swirl around in this and go across your cheek and you'll be in big trouble. So this is the second tap in. I'm getting away with that nicely actually. So this one's less glowy and it's more of a mauve finish. Gosh, I like it so much more than I thought I would. It's swatched so deep. Connect this with the eyes a little bit as well. You need to be careful how much you bring a shade like this up because it can just be way too much. I think I'm going to connect it all the way around just to make sure that I don't have any sort of blush lines. So I'm slightly bringing it into the forehead there. That is plenty for me. I could really amp that up a lot, but I don't want to. I want it to be a realistic finish, a finish that I'm happy with. Oh, do you know, I'll go in with one more. I'm so terrified of this shade. I hope I don't regret this. I'm going to take it more on the sort of top part of the cheek. You can see that pop of colour starting to really come now. See what I mean? How quickly you can go from pale to it really is very powerful. So a word of warning with using them. I'm going to get my Charlotte Tilbury that I'm now relying on all the time. I'm going to use the Airbrush Pink Powder from this one. I'm going to get my Blender Pro brush and go into the pink and go around the edges of both of these because they are pretty powerful shades on my fair skin tone. But as soon as you add this to the edges, you'll see straight away how much it just softens and blends it in. Honestly, I would buy this again just for the airbrush powder. It is so good. Not that I don't like the blush, I do, but the powder, wow. I'm actually going right over the top of this one because I feel like that third dab was a mistake and it's gone too much. So I'm actually covering over to calm it down. And you can see it has calmed it down a bit. but these really last. So there we go, we have Rose Riviera, and then we have the, what was it called, Mauve Your Passion. I love them both. I think I still prefer this one because I love the glow, but I really like this one. Just 2 dabs only for future reference for me. Really, really, really impressed with those, and it certainly makes me want to try more of Kiko. So if there's a demand out there for me to try more and do a video, please let me know and I will do that. So I'm going to just finish with a lip gloss which came with the same collection. So this is their summer launch. I don't think I've written down any details for this one. This is their 3D Hydra lip gloss, and this is in the shade Juicy Fizz. So it's going with this collection. So similar sort of colour themes, and Juicy Fizz is the name of this collection. So this is literally a topper. I've tried it once already, so you don't get to see the colour much, but you do get to see the sparkle. Isn't it lovely? It is a little bit sticky, but not sticky where my lips stick together or it becomes gloopy in any way. Very hydrating, lovely sparkle. Very, very nice. I'm not picking up any fragrance. I've got quite a strong rose perfume on today, so maybe that's why, but I'm not picking up on any fragrance. I really like that. And if you're wondering what's on my lips, I've got something which I've worn constantly since I got it, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Duo in Fair. So that's what I had on my lips throughout this video, and that's what I've topped it with, and that's how I love to use that Lip Cheat Duo. I really, really love it actually. So there we are, that is everything I'm trying on for you today. What do you think of everything I've tried for you? What do you think of the Viseart palettes? I think they are stunning, and I can see why everyone demanded to have them back, and I'm so very grateful to Viseart for sending them to me because I love them. I absolutely love them. Just think they're perfection. The wow shadows, and there's a lot of wow shadows, let's face it, those shimmers and metallics, wow. They're so easy. If you're somebody who's nervous about eyeshadows, Viseart's an excellent one to try, and there are so many colour stories. If you go on their website, you don't have to get these, you can find so many more. I love, love, love them, and I've been a fan for a very long time. And as for Kiko, my first real try of Kiko, very, very impressed, very impressed. And I would love to see what you think. I know when I put the picture out of these, a couple of you said you were going to pick one of these up. So if you did, which one did you get and what are you thinking of it? Are you enjoying it? And if you haven't and you're now thinking of getting it, which one do you think is the nicest? Which one is your cup of tea? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, I would love it ever so much if you did subscribe, and if you already are, you're at the end of another review, and I really, really appreciate you for being here, and I do hope to see you all again for my next video. Take care everybody, bye!